Hello, lover. You've just entered a portal of pleasure, power, and deep, unapologetic sensuality. This is Talk Tantra to Me, where we liberate your authentic self, reclaim the wisdom of the body, and let pleasure lead the way. I'm your guide, Leola, tantrika, pleasure priestess, best-selling author of Sacred Sex Ed, and devoted student of the erotic mysteries. I'm here to strip away shame and awaken your most radiant, sacred, and sensual self. Get in, babe. We're conspiring for your most pleasurable life and seducing the world into a greater good. So, take a deep breath with a vocal exhale, relax that delicious body of yours, and let's talk Tantra. Over the years, I've been approached by many pleasure-based companies to promote their products, but I've only ever said yes to one person because I genuinely love these products so much, as well as the woman behind them. Wands, spelled W-A-A-N-D-S, is a crystal pleasure toy company, and they have been a part of my Tantra journey since the beginning. And they're not just toys, they're truly activators and beautiful sacred pieces of art that foster deep self-connection, pleasure, and transformation. These 100% pure crystal wands and yoni eggs help you unlock your body's wisdom, clear energy blockages, and amplify your pleasure, whether alone or with a partner. And it's not just about the products. For me, it's about the heart and the soul behind them. And the owner, Courtney, I absolutely adore her. She's been so generous to offer you, my beloved listeners, an exclusive 15% off with the code Leola, L-E-O-L-A. So if you're ready to honor your sacred sexuality and awaken your sensual energy, stepping into a pleasure-filled life, head to wands.com. Again, W-A-A-N-D-S, 2 A's, and use code Leola for 15% off. And you can always find the link directly in the show notes. Trust me, you're going to thank me later. Welcome back to the podcast. Today I have on the incredible, amazing, talented, radiant Mel Wells-Jenkins. Mel Wells-Jenkins. Mel Jenkins?
I mean, there's so many names that I go by, but let's go with Mel Wells for now.
Yeah, goddess of a million names or 1,000 names. Yeah, queen of queens. I first discovered you, I think it was in 2020 when the online coaching world was just blowing up. That's when I really first started listening to podcasts. I think I heard you on a podcast and I started listening to your podcast. I remember going to one of your Queendom launch events and then, just fell in love with how you move through life as a feminine leader, having a woman in the world to look up to, how they embody their power and their presence and their pleasure while still being a force and a leader, was something I'm really grateful for in you as a human. And it's been such a joy to work with you and to get to collaborate with you in different seasons, and also to see you now really evolving too in your work life, in your marriage, in your family life, mama of 2 now, founder of the honeypot movement, really just changing hundreds, thousands of women's lives. So thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful to get to sit with you and just catch up, and also allow the listeners a glimpse into some of your magic.
Oh my goodness, I'm blushing. Thank you. I love you so much. It's been, I just adore you. I adore you as a friend, a sister, and it's just been amazing to bring our worlds together in so many different ways. So I'm delighted to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know we have a bunch of different fun things to talk about to really deepen into the transmission of you. And I want to hear about your day today, because I've been rushing around, doing all my podcast stuff, going to the eye doctor, and you've had a completely different day. So what's been going on for you?
Oh my gosh, I had the best day ever. I got to help at my son's, I say school, but it's pre-K. He's only 3 and he just started going to this sweet little play-based small school
Yeah.
group, and he loves it so much. And it's basically like this thing where the parents, if they want to, can like come and help out for the day and like be a stand-in teacher for the day. And so today was my day, and I got to like just play with him and all of his friends and see him, and that makes me emotional. It's like so precious. And it's just like moments like that seem small but are so big. And just I've always dreamed of being a mom and being able to have a life where I get to be fully present and do things like help with the school and do all the pickups and drop-offs and do the lunch boxes. And so it's those little moments that for me, just my heart just explodes. So I did that. That's why I'm a little grubby. My fingers are a little dirty. I've been playing in mud, getting served chocolate ice cream that's actually just like muddy sand.
Cute.
And then went home, quick change into this more glamorous fit. And
Iconic.
Here we are.
Iconic. Was this always your dream? Like this life, this wifed up family, babies, and also running a business? Like, was that always what you envisioned, or?
I've always been very creative. So originally I was actually an actress. So like when I was 18, I had like a TV acting career back in the UK. And that was like my first career. But I was actually very troubled in that time. I had an eating disorder. I had a lot of struggles, like internal struggles, couldn't be with my own self, like just needed a lot of healing and didn't know that. And so that world, like being in that TV world and that pressure with like the kind of there was like kind of like a celebrity world that we kind of get thrown into when you're in like a soap opera in the UK, or at least it was 10 years ago. And that pressure for me just almost like I just internally combusted and had like a spiritual awakening around the time that my dad passed away. And then I kind of had a full reset of like, what do I really want in life? Because that world is not making me happy. And how can I channel myself and my devotion into healing and then helping others to heal? And that's kind of what set me on this path. But I would say I've always had a dream to be a mom and a wife, for sure. And it's always just been like, my mom just really modeled that. She had little businesses that she would do. Like she always had like a business going on, but it was always to fit in around me and my brother. So it was always, she would only take on a client if she could like still pick us up from school in time, kind of thing. So I really got to see from an early age that you can be a woman that is a present mom, that is at home, and also gets to be an entrepreneur at the same time. So neither of my parents had 9-to-5s. So I really got modeled to from a very young age, like you can do whatever you want to do and make it work for your family.
Such a cool imprint.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like I know the answer to this question, but I want to hear it from your own words. Is it all it's cracked up to be, this like momming like life?
Oh my God, it's better. No, it's better. Don't believe anyone that tells you that it's like that it's not. It's chaos. I mean, it's total chaos. I haven't slept through the night in about 3 years, but it's like it's the best. It's like it's what I'm on this planet for, you know? I mean, there's a lot of things I'm on this planet for, but that's like there's nothing like it.
When was the moment that you were like, I'm ready for that chapter? Like, I'm ready for my man. I'm ready for babies. Like, did you feel like you were always ready for it, or was there something where it's like something shifted for you?
Well, I'm just relieved that I picked the right partner to do it with, because I was ready for a long time, but with the wrong partner that was not meant to be the father of my babies. But I was ready to be a mom very young. But my babies were waiting for me to find their dad.
The right dad.
I think so.
Have you read Spirit Babies? You probably have.
I have.
So good. I like certain babies will wait for the right partner. And
so
it's like,
I really believe that. Yeah.
Yeah. Super sweet.
Yeah.
Super, super sweet.
You're going to make the best mom ever.
Thanks,
Yeah.
love.
I'm so excited for you. It just explodes your whole entire world. And just, it's like you become like the 2.0 version of you. And you're like, wow, I didn't realize I had the capacity to love this deeply, to hold as much. And you just grow into this whole new evolved version of you. And like, yeah, you're more tired. And yeah, you're not the same as you were when you were maiden years, and that's like how it's meant to be, you know. But it's so beautiful and it's so rich. But yeah, it's chaotic and exhausting and all the things, and sometimes frustrating. And obviously there are like moments where you're like tearing your hair out and just like, God, can I just get a moment to myself? But all of the richness and the love just outweighs all of that.
And what is it like in your relationship? How has it been for you to balance intimacy, pleasure, prioritizing your relationship with the chaos of running a multi-million-dollar business and having two glorious children?
Oh, well, I feel like it's all just a dance. It's all
Yeah.
a dance. And I try and just like flow with the current and the rhythms of life and where it's moving next. And you know, we just have a lot of fun. Like in our relationship and our marriage, we prioritize the polarity and we have a lot of fun together. So yeah, there's like pressures and things going on all the time, but if we are working on our relationship and prioritizing our marriage, and that doesn't look like hard work and constant shadow work, although obviously that's important.
Yeah.
But it's also like just being kind to each other and being gracious with each other and, you know, laughing with each other and like joking around, and like that helps so much when you're in like the trenches of parenthood and both people haven't slept.
Yes, absolutely. What does it mean to you to prioritize polarity? Like, what is polarity to you? Because I know that there are many different teachers out there, incredible bodies of work. Some really resonate, some not so much. Like, what does it look like for you with your path?
So for me, it's like this eternal dance between the masculine and the feminine. And we have the masculine and feminine dance within ourselves, of course.
Yeah.
And then when we enter into relationship with a partner, we have it in that dynamic as well. And, you know, what I notice what I notice in my relationship and in, you know, clients that I've worked with and women that I've worked with is that like when the male partner is like embodied in his masculine presence and the feminine and the female is embodied in her feminine, things flow. There's a lot more spark. There's a lot more attraction. There's a lot more connection, and that intimacy really gets to thrive. And when it's reversed, or when both people are kind of, you know, being that repellent energy because they're both in the same energy, that's when like there starts to be like friction, resentment, things that can, you know, create a ripple effect into the relationship. And obviously that's not to say that like both people have to always be in that same pole, you know, it's always a dance. But for me, that's what I believe like really strengthens the marriage and makes it work.
And how does a woman lead in love and relationship to create or to influence or to inspire that type of polarity?
So with the feminine leading in love, how it looks is different than when the masculine leads. So like we all say like, you know, we hear all the time, like, I just want my man to lead me, right?
Yeah.
We want to be led, we want to be taken, ravished, cherished, all the things, protected, provided for. But when the feminine leads, the feminine actually leads through her energy, through her magnetism. So she actually, in her very energy that she's embodying, she is a magnetic signal, an energetic signal for the man, for the masculine to lead himself towards her. So if you imagine like the way that a lot of us unconsciously are in relationships, we're doing what we've seen modeled to us by our parents, right? And a lot of the time, what that looks like for women is unconsciously doing things like criticizing, complaining, nagging, chipping away, right? We can be extremely hurtful with our words.
Yeah.
Right. And we know like the feminine energy is so powerful that we know that we can give a look, a passive aggressive comment, a dig, and it can cut a man down so hard, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like that is what a lot of us are just doing unconsciously, right? Because the energy that we're leading in love, and like what does that inspire in him, right? Versus if we can actually be in an energy where we are filling our own cup, we are really like allowing ourselves to be in our absolute highest vibration. And what I mean by that is like a woman that isn't giving to everyone around her and not filling her own cup.
Yeah.
Like a woman that allows herself to give from the overflow
Mm-hmm.
and allowing that to be the energy that she brings to her husband, like allowing her energy to be the invitation for him, right? So she can be in this invitation of appreciating him and admiring him and being in awe of him and celebrating him authentically, right? And I have to say like authentically, because there can be like when some people hear me say this, they think, oh, so this is like a performance and you're like manipulating. And it's like, this is why we also have to do the healing work to heal our relationship with the masculine, to forgive the men in our lives so that we can truly, authentically celebrate our man and really be his champion genuinely.
Yeah.
Not pretending, but like truly meaning it. And we have to do that healing work for that to be our true embodiment and not a performance.
Yeah. The analogy that I like to use is your feminine energy is either going to be a poison to the relationship, or it's going to be this like beautiful, like healing elixir. When men like mess up in the relationship, in my opinion, it's usually very obvious. Like it's like a big bomb just went off. Like it's like violent. It's more obvious. But to women, like it's like the slowly poisoning the relationship every day that eventually adds up to death, right? Death of the relationship, death of the love, just like and yeah, it shows up as, you know, not honoring him, not accepting his help, not seeing like all of the little ways that he's actually supporting you, guiding you, those like demasculating, what's the word? Emasculating.
Yeah.
Emasculating
Totally.
him in front of his friends. And like, I know that I have done this. Like I thought that I respected the masculine, but it wasn't until I actually got in a relationship with my husband that I really had to look at what I was doing in the face. Because with my past relationships, I would say, oh, well, like he hasn't done the work. Like, you know, like it was easy for me to brush it off. Like you're too sensitive, blah, blah, blah. But with Andrew, like this man has done a lot of work. Like it's not, this is me. Like I get to look at this, right? And for me, it was doing a bit of the polarity work. And it was also just like asking him, like, where do you really feel honored? Like, what do I do that supports you in feeling honored? And what am I doing that's not feeling good for you that I might not even realize? And that was a really powerful conversation for us.
Totally. Like the thing that men really want the most from us is for us to trust them.
Yeah.
And for us to like really have faith in them as leaders of the family, as leaders of the relationship, you know, in a lot of ways. And just like for us to really put our trust and faith in them. And when we don't do that, I mean, we just slip into controlling, you know, micromanaging, mothering, being their therapist and mother and guide and coach and all the things. And we think that we're being so helpful because we're like, well, I'm doing this because I love you so much. And it's actually, we have to rewind and reframe all of that and realize, oh, that's actually not how to honor the masculine, because that it actually is emasculating, right? And some people would listen to this and be like, well, it's up to him. Like if he's getting emasculated, that's his own fault. And I just don't buy that. I think we have to take responsibility for our side of the street, because like you said, the feminine energy is so powerful, and we know how powerful our energy is and our words are. And we know we can like slit someone's throat with a word or a look or an eye roll, right? And like, and then who are we to then complain that we're not getting our needs met and feeling desired and being initiated in the bedroom? And so if we are behaving in that way, you know, one of the questions that I ask in my program for women to ask themselves is like, who does he get to be in your presence? You know, because we don't just fall in love with the person in the relationship. We fall in love with who we get to be with them. So like when a woman falls in love with a man, she's not just falling in love with him. She's falling in love with, how does he allow me to feel as a woman? And it's the same in reverse. Like, how does he feel as a man around you? Like, are you constantly chipping him down, and like he just constantly feels like he can never get it right, never win with you. I can never make her happy. I feel like a loser. I'm never good enough. Or does he feel like he gets to be your king? And when he wins, you win. Like you both win.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think sometimes we can develop this like unhealthy competitive energy with our partner where it's like, no, it's on him. He has to do this. I'm not going to do this. He has to do this. Or like, well, I want to be right in this argument. So I feel righteous and virtuous and he's the villain and I'm the victim.
Yeah.
And actually we have to remember that like we want our partner to win with us.
Yeah.
Why do you want your partner to lose? Why do you want him to feel like poo-poo?
Yeah, it was life-changing for me when I realized that I was valuing being right over being in love. Like that was a big moment for me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk more about Honeypot. That's really like your movement, your body of work, and also what you're going to be bringing into the Pleasure Priestess to guest teach, which I'm so excited to bring to those ladies. But yeah, tell us more about Honeypot. What spurred that movement of work? Because it's very different from, not very different, but it's a different type of leadership than the feminine leadership work you were doing before in the Queendom and in other works that I have a little bit more experience with.
Yeah, so Honeypot is all love, no business. So it's a full program dedicated to love and relationships, whether you're single, married, in a complicated situationship, you know, we bring it all. And it's really a combination of like deep healing and shadow work in love and relationships and the feminine polarity work, magnetism, all that juicy energy work. And we do all of like the feminine archetypes integration as well. So it's like this 3-pronged approach, and it's really just become a movement, like accidentally, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I was relationship coaching and realized, you know, I really should put all this into a program. And I put it together in a program and, you know, kind of launched it without really thinking about it. And it just blew up overnight because of the results that women were getting. And I think it's because it combines the two. It's like, because there's a lot of women that do a lot of deep work in our world. They're doing the deep trauma work. They're doing the shadow work. They're doing medicine ceremonies. That, you know, but then they're not integrating the polarity piece as well. So they're processing all this deep, heavy stuff with their partners, and they're not thinking about the polarity, and they're not thinking about like, how can I be in my feminine as an invitation, and how is my energy here? Right. So this is like a combination of the two worlds. And so it just creates like massive, like incredible results for people. So I'm really proud of it, and I'm really excited for it. It's just become like the main thing now.
The main course.
Yeah.
Who knew honey was on the menu?
I know. Honey really is on the menu. And I realized my name means honey.
Yeah.
So Mel actually means honey. And I didn't plan that. Melissa means honeybee, and Mel or Miel means honey.
That's
so it's just kind of written in the stars.
Crazy. It's like literally chills. Amazing. Okay, where was I had a question I was going to ask. What was it? I got totally sidetracked with the Miel Melissa. It's so incredible. What are some signs that women might be accidentally emasculating their man or not honoring him when they might not realize it? Because for me, I didn't even know until my husband said something, but I'm sure a lot of men like aren't saying it or aren't communicating it in a way that a woman could really like hear it, receive it, and understand. Like what are some signs that you would say?
I would say if it feels like there's constant friction and tension and resentment, like when that's happening, like both people are feeling the resentment hardcore, because both people are not feeling appreciated and honored in their gifts and in their magic. So you know, we're always hearing like, oh, I just don't feel appreciated. I feel like he doesn't see me. And to what you said earlier, like instead of pointing all the fingers at him, we have to go, well, how am I not actually seeing him and appreciating all that he is doing and bringing to the table? And so when we are in that sense, in that like emasculating, you're going to hear things from him. He's going to be saying things to you like, it's never good enough, is it for you? Like nothing I ever do is good enough. I just can never win. You can tell he just feels like he's never getting it right with you, and nothing that he does will be good enough because it isn't, because you're not allowing it to be. So you're not inspiring him to rise. When a man feels constantly criticized and critiqued, it doesn't inspire him to try harder. You know,
No.
It makes him give up and be like,
does that work for you,
no.
babe?
Exactly.
I know it doesn't work for me.
Right, exactly. And if he feels like he's being mothered, then unconsciously what happens is he starts behaving more like a child because he starts expecting you to mother him, right? And then when he shows up to try and give you what you want, he's doing it from a space of obligation and people pleasing. It's not like genuine, authentic, like I'm inspired to give to her, to provide for her, to lead her. So yeah, I mean, I've learned all this through lived experience.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Oh my gosh. I mean, like my entire last relationship, I like was just unconsciously doing all these things, even though I was deep in the healing work and doing the
But you were such a
ceremonies
good
and doing
healer.
such a
He
good healer.
needed it.
Exactly right. Yeah. And yeah, I just didn't know. You don't know until you know. And then you're like, oh, this is a whole different language to learn. But it makes so much sense when you do start practicing it. It becomes like your natural embodiment, and it becomes like, oh, this is like the feminine in her deepest power.
Yeah, what would you say to people that might feel that this work could be disempowering or like not allowing you to fully exercise like your wisdom? You know, like some polarity teachings will say
this is the wisdom.
Okay, yeah, let's speak into it.
This is the wisdom of the feminine. Like this is like understanding your feminine gifts and your feminine superpowers. You know, you're abandoning your power when you step into mothering. Yeah. You know, when you step into like trying to control someone, when you step into trying to change someone, you're abandoning your power. Like that's not you in your highest. Like a woman truly in her feminine power doesn't need to do any of that because her very energy and embodiment inspires the masculine to rise.
Can you give me a real example of that? Like, it's like, what would it look like to be mothering, controlling, coaching, whatever, versus inspiring him?
Oh, let's think of a real life example for that. Okay. So I think let's take like doing the work. Let's take like therapy, right?
This is great because I feel like a lot of women too, it's like, do men need to be doing therapy or doing their work for this to work as well? That's another sidebar question. But
yeah, that's another great sidebar question. So a lot of the time you hear like, I want him to want to go to therapy.
Yeah.
You know, I want him to want to do the work. But we're so desperate for him to do that we're like, you should do this, you should do this. You know, here's a book, here's a podcast, here's a course that you should sign up to, blah, blah, blah. And what actually inspires him to shift is when he experiences you shifting and focusing on yourself. When you stop putting all the focus on him, you actually put the focus back on you. You're like, what do I feel inspired to like do in my own work, in my own world? And then you simply just share that embodiment with him. Like, this is what I'm learning about myself. This is like the shadow work that I've been doing. And he starts seeing you take responsibility for your own life. And he's like, damn, I better
get on this bus.
Because she's leaving without me otherwise. Like, this is hot. I want to be in her world. How can I get in her world? Right? Yeah. Versus he's being given, here's this book, here's this podcast. You should do this. Change who you are. Change who you are. Yeah. They really just want to be accepted by us. Yeah. No matter what.
Yeah, I think that's a great example. One thing that I notice when I start to do that, like start to mother, a great example, I shared this in one of my programs recently. I was on my way to the airport and my husband was dropping me off and I felt this compulsion to say, don't do anything I wouldn't do, or like something like behave while I'm gone, or like something like a mom would say. And I was like, oh, don't say it. Don't you say it, Leola. And instead I said, what did I say? Thank you so much for taking care of the home and the house while I'm gone. And like left it at that, like gratitude, appreciation, honoring, have a great time. Because that like, he's going to do great. Like it's that setting that expectation almost of like, I think that you're going to fuck up. So I need to say this.
Exactly.
Instead of just, I trust that you've got it and I love you.
Exactly. And like, thanks for being an amazing husband and dad. Like when you become parents, like this shit gets even more real because you're mothering inside the home. Yeah. Right. So you are the mother but you don't want to do that to your partner.
Yeah. How has this shifted since having kids? Like, especially when like we're so invested as moms into the child, right? It's like biologically so big. Like, I mean, I don't know. I've never been a father. I never will be a father. I've experienced having a father. But to me, like as a woman, we hold it like we're literally like energetically intertwined for so much longer. We grew this baby. And so it's like the weightiness of how important it is that our child is raised. right, quote unquote, like, and feeling like in reality, like our men, our husbands, the father of our children bring a different frequency that's very important. But like, how do you trust that when the decision might be different or how they move might be different?
Well, going back to the Spirit Babies book, right?
Yeah.
Our babies choose their father and they choose their mother. At least I believe that. And the father's role is very different than the mother's. Like the mother is literally biologically wired to be constantly scanning for threats, right?
Yep.
Like, are they okay? Do they have everything that
Yep.
they need? Have I packed the right snack? Does he have a water bottle? Is it clean? Has he got this, that, the other? Is this, has he got a jacket? Has he got a sun cream? Like, there's so many things, and as they get older, there's just more and more and more things. Do we have enough diapers? Do we have like there's so much, right?
Yeah.
But like, what I always remember is like the dad brings a different set of gifts.
Yeah.
Right. When I learned early on in parenthood, I just found this fascinating. The child gets the most oxytocin when he's cuddling with his mom or when he's playing with his dad. But playing with the mom doesn't get the same oxytocin high. Neither does cuddling with the dad. So like the dad's role is meant to be a role model, meant to push him to the edges, meant to bring that physicality and show him what it means to be a man. I'm just, using the son as an example, right?
Yeah.
But the mother is there to be like the ultimate safe space. Like the mother is literally like merged with the baby for so long.
Yeah.
And then I think it takes like years for the child to finally know, oh, I'm a separate human being from my mother. So the mother's always going to be the safe place. And the mother is so psychically connected to the child that she knows at all given times what they need, what they're thinking, how they're feeling. Like we can't expect the dad to simply be another mother.
Yeah.
Right. So we have to accept that the gifts are different. And when we do that, we can embrace the gifts that he is bringing to the table instead of like, why didn't you remember this?
Yeah.
Right. Because like, he's not gonna, he's bringing different gifts. Like appreciate what the different gifts are. Like, I love that you're such an amazing dad because you just play with him all the time. And like, you really like, Sean will like literally take Sky to the park and like run around and like be all kinds of climbing frames and stuff that I'm not going to do with him because that would scare me. I'm like, I don't want you on that climbing frame. Like, I'm scared you're going to like crack your head open. But like, he needs that from his dad.
Yeah, it's how he builds confidence and like learns to take risks in the world. And
exactly. So it's just a different set of gifts. And I think when we remember that our child needs both of those, ideally, to flourish, then it can help. And also, on this note of like mothering our partners, it just doesn't. It's like, who do you want to be? Yeah. Like who do I want to be as a woman? Yeah. Like I don't want to be my partner's mother. Like I don't like who that brings out in me. If I'm like, did you do this? Did you do this? Don't forget about this. Ugh, I just don't like that energy. I don't want to be in that energy. It doesn't serve me. It doesn't serve him. Maybe in the short term, it serves our child because they get what they need instead of forgetting about it or whatever. But that lasting over a relationship is one of the things that can lead to like the most resentment in both partners.
And I would say it's one of the biggest opportunities that couples have. Like it's one of the biggest complaints is like, why does it feel like I have a grown man child?
Yeah,
right?
It's like, well, you started mothering him from day one.
Yeah.
That's why.
I see you, sister, already so spiritual, deeply devoted to your path, but something in you knows there's more. You've meditated, manifested, maybe even danced under the full moon, but have you fully felt the power of your unapologetic pleasure and sensuality? Have you allowed your body to become your greatest teacher? Have you stepped into leadership in love? The Pleasure Priestess Initiation is your next step. A full year of deep sisterhood where we do life and love together. Online, in ritual, month after month, and in the flesh for a juicy in-person immersion. We'll explore powerful Tantra practices that you can take home and adapt, whether for your beloved, your sisters, or even for your own community. Plus, we'll have amazing guest sexperts, medicine women, and other powerful priestesses already walking the path, coming to share their expertise with you, as well as group masterminds, an electric WhatsApp chat, and high-level support as you step into your fullest expression. The initiation is open for enrollment now to start at the end of October. But as soon as you join, you get access to the vault of over 70 hours of previous Tantra trainings, resources, and the vault of our past guest teachers. This is more than a program. It's an initiation into your power, into your pleasure, into the woman you know you came here to be. Are you ready to awaken the pleasure priestess within? Click the link in the show notes to claim your seat in the temple, or visit us at www.talktantratome.com/pleasure. What can women do to disrupt that, especially if it's been going on for...
Yeah, so the biggest thing from shifting from mother back to lover, honestly, is like spending less time worrying about what everyone else in the house needs and putting more focus on like, gosh, what do I need to like really fill my cup up today or fill my honey pot up? Like, how can I be a little bit more selfish, dare I say it, you know, a little bit more like, what do I need? What are my desires? And like, let yourself actually have that instead of being this like drained, you know, shell of a person, a shell of a former version of yourself, because all you're doing is worrying about everyone else's needs getting met. When you do that, it actually allows his focus to come back onto you instead of on him being never getting it right. He's like, oh, she's taking herself out for a spa day, or oh, she's going out for brunch. And like, I want to be in her world a little bit more. What's going on over there?
Yeah. For those listening, just try this. Just try leaving the dishes in the sink tonight and have 20 sacred, uninterrupted minutes of pleasure, whatever that means to you, and just see what happens. Does the world end? Do your kids starve and die? Like, no.
They have more of a relaxed mother, actually, and your partner has more of a relaxed wife, and he's gonna want to be around you more when you're in the energy of, I get to enjoy this moment. Like I get to read by myself, or I get to take a bath, or I get to give to myself, and like being a woman that knows and recognizes the importance of that instead of burning out because you're giving to everyone else except for you and then blaming and bitching about it.
I kind of can't wait to be a mom because I work with a lot of moms. Like a lot of women are moms in my containers, and I'm so grateful that they trust me with this type of transmission and work, because I'm not a mom yet, but I'm really excited for it because I work with a lot of moms and I have my suggestions and they're like, I don't have time for that. And I'm like, you can do something that you would already do, but put a little pleasure sprinkle on top of it. When you take your shower tonight, undress yourself intentionally, slowly, softly, light a candle, like actually enjoy your coffee in the morning, like dance to a song while you're cleaning up. Like there's so many little pleasure hacks that literally change the game. Try to do like 3 things a day that are just for you, life-changing.
Totally. And when someone says I don't have the time for myself and my own pleasure, you know, I find what's actually underneath that is like, I don't feel like I deserve to prioritize this because other people's needs are more important than my own. So it's really like a shift in, honestly, like reclaiming that self-worth piece around like, actually, like this is the most important thing I can do to take care of my marriage and family right now. Because your kids are growing up seeing, like, you are modeling womanhood, right? You are modeling like not just motherhood, but womanhood for your girl, boy, you know, whatever you have. And so do you want to be this woman that's, you know, constantly burned out and resentful and doesn't have any time for herself? And to your point, like there can be these, I mean, there's like when I, people are going to laugh at this and not believe me, but like when I do the dishes, it's not very often I do the dishes, just to be completely honest, because we do have a cleaner. But when I do the dishes, like I see it as an act of devotion. Like I see it as devotional homemaking. Like I do bring, like, so it's not just what you're doing, it's like the energy that you're doing it in. You know, if you take a shower and it's like a 5-minute thing and it's like, oh, gotta just clean myself and get straight back out, versus like, to your point, like make it devotional, ceremonial, enjoy it like beautiful products, and you know, taking these moments of ritual, even if they're only 5 minutes, putting on beautiful music in the kitchen while you're tidying up. It's instead of tidying up in this energy of like, oh, I do so much and I'm not appreciated. Oh, nobody sees me. And obviously it's a two-way street and both people have to, do their part, but that's what we can do.
Yeah, absolutely. You say that you don't have time for pleasure, but what if pleasure added more years to your life, more time with your husband and your babies, and also, as you said, your children are looking to you as the ultimate representation of the feminine. So do you want them to attract another like overworked, tired, martyred mother or as a partner? No, absolutely not. So the greatest gift that you can do is lean into that. Pleasure rewires the nervous system. It's great for our mental health. It's great for our immune system. So it literally adds years to your life.
And I'm always hearing from moms and busy women about, well, where is the time for sex? Like, where does sex and intimacy come in?
Yeah.
And if you can weave pleasure into your life in these small daily ways, that's work, that's magic for your sex life, right? Because you can't just expect to be burned out, resentful all day long and then you're having sex at the end of the day. Like, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Pleasure has to be this current that is moving through your life constantly. And I've worked with couples that have come back from big betrayals and affairs and just things that could break a marriage apart, and they come back together and she realizes, if I don't put my pleasure first, like, this is really important for our marriage. Like, who I'm being is really important for our marriage. And obviously, that's not to say that,
they were out of
that was
integrity.
right. Exactly. But it's important. It's very important. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel, and this is maybe controversial, but I think that a lot of cheating affairs are happening because something is missing in the relationship and two people are adding to that dynamic. That's not to say that that was a healthy response or okay or fair or justifiable necessarily, but there's really this opportunity to say, okay, like, what's been missing? Like, where is he or she feeling that she needs to outsource love, affection, desire, and why? Like, how am I showing up in the relationship to potentially make that the possible or likely outcome for someone?
Yeah.
Which is big.
It's huge. And a lot of the time there's also like this unspoken shame of like, maybe one partner feels like they can't be their full self in that relationship, in which case, like, doing this deep work is really important so that you can excavate what's in those shadows and what's not being spoken about to keep the peace, and I think that's another like misunderstanding of like polarity work, which is why the shadow work and the healing work is so important. You can't just do the polarity work without the healing work that happens underneath, because a lot of people think that being in your feminine energy and like feminine communication in relationship is just about keeping the peace and like being soft and being submissive. And it's not at all, because if you have unmet, unspoken needs and desires, they have to come out or they start being met in really unhealthy ways.
Yeah. So the process with shadow work, what does that look like? Like, where do you start with women in healing their relationship to the masculine?
Yeah.
And to the feminine, really, because it's also like they're getting an imprint from their mom of what, like, I definitely have things that I want to carry on in the legacy of my feminine lineage, and also things that I am busting and breaking down.
Yeah. So one of the things we do, obviously we look at like the mom and the dad in childhood. We also look at beyond that in your ancestry. So your mom's parent dynamic in her childhood, your dad's parent dynamic in his childhood.
Yeah.
Your mom's relationship with men, your dad's relationship with women, and then all of your relationships in your life, like your, let's say, like 5 core relationships that you've had, or 5 core situationships that have impacted your life in the biggest way. And the biggest thing to look at is like, how did it end and what was your part? Right? What can you take responsibility for? Because so often we're so keen to be like, well, it's because he did this, and he was the villain and he did this. And none of that is helpful, except for it shows you what story you keep bringing into, what dynamic and what story you keep bringing into your world. Yeah. And so drawing the dots between your relationships
Yeah.
and what you've experienced in your childhood and what your parents experienced in their relationships in their childhood, like drawing all those dots is going to help you really see like, what is my blueprint for love that I've been moving through this life with. And for me, shadow work is all about like what am I actually loving about this unhealthy pattern that I tell myself that I don't want to be in?
Yeah.
Like, what is the part of me that actually is addicted to the drama of this or the chaos of this? Or what is it about me that just loves rescuing someone or that loves, mothering someone? Or, why do I find myself in this dynamic over and over? Like, what is the part of me that actually enjoys it? Even if we're like, no, I hate this. I don't want to, I don't want to be this. I want to break this pattern. There's a part of us that doesn't.
Yeah.
And like illuminating that is really powerful. Yeah. And taking responsibility for every single relationship that has happened in our life. Like, even if we think, oh, it's because he just did this one day.
Yeah.
Okay. How did we self-betray ourselves in that relationship? Like, what did we tolerate that led to that? Like, what can we take responsibility for? Because if we're unwilling to take any responsibility for how a relationship fell apart, you're not going to heal anything.
And you're disempowering yourself, too.
You're disempowering yourself. You're going to, I don't want to say you're going to attract the same thing again, but if you don't do any healing and looking at that, then why wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll share vulnerably. So one thing that I noticed in between some of my relationships doing this like shadow work piece was I would get into these relationships with men that were frankly like more emotional than I was, that were more feminine, like more in their feminine than in their masculine. And what I realized, and not in a healthy, whole feminine way either, like they were in their unhealed, immature feminine. And what I realized is like, oh, I like this because I can be in control.
Right.
And being in control is fucking fun. And it's safer for me. And it was a conscious choice of like, yeah, there's a part of me that enjoys feeling powerful, but there are other outlets for me to feel power that also allow me to be taken care of and provided for by a man who is in his healthy, healed, whole masculine.
Totally.
Life-changing.
It's huge. And I think it's really important that we don't like blame ourselves for that, because it is just these protector parts of ourselves that are just keeping us safe. So it's like, oh, that makes so much sense why I would do that, to keep myself safe. Instead of like, oh my God, I can't believe that I do this. Oh, I'm such a bad person. It's just like, no, I get it. I get why I would do that. Yeah, that makes sense.
I was trying to survive.
I accept that part of me.
It's all right.
It's like the compassion and grace that we get to extend to ourselves in doing this work is so huge.
So big. So big. And you did a lot of this work before, like in between your last big relationship and into, I had a very similar story. I was with a guy that thought I was going to marry. He was actually like working on proposing all the things, and it kind of just, the relationship just combusted. But I decided I was not available for that level of like heartbreak, because it wasn't just the heartbreak of the relationship. It was I was so close to the vision, And so I did a lot of polarity work and also a lot of shadow work around my enabling patterns in that relationship, my mothering patterns in that relationship. But yeah, I'm curious to hear kind of what that was like, or what you would recommend for women that are in that space of like, I am ready for my man and I'm not available for more heartbreak that close to my vision.
I get it. Oh my goodness. I remember going through like my dark night of the soul and my heartbreak and writing to God, like, give me all the lessons. I'm not available for this suffering to drag out any longer than it needs to be. Just, I'm ready for the lessons. Like, show me what I need to see, but like, please, like, I can't be in this suffering for like years on end. Like, I'm ready to move into the next season. I mean, gosh, I always go to like, okay, like what was my part in this?
Yeah.
And so I think like when my last relationship combusted in this big dramatic way of, him leaving me for another woman and, thinking that he was about to propose and then like suddenly I'm being left for someone else. And it was just so like all of my, so traumatizing in so many ways and such a shock.
Yeah.
Until I started looking at my part. I was like, okay, maybe I didn't do that. It looks like it's all, he's the villain, I'm the victim. And then it's like, well, how did I contribute to this dynamic falling apart?
Yeah.
You know? And so really like looking back at like, oh yeah, like I was really leading everything like the whole way through. Like I was constantly bringing up like, when are we getting engaged? When are we having babies? When like, and it was like I was forcing it because I so badly wanted it to work that I wasn't allowing it to happen. I was forcing. And there was many points in that relationship where I felt like I did betray myself, where I felt like I did feel like, oh, this isn't right. You should leave. This is not right. And I was so committed to the vision of what I thought I was meant to have with this person that I did self-abandon. I did self-betray. And so when that relationship fell apart and I felt betrayed by him, I got to look at, where did I actually betray myself?
Yeah. Where is your hope bypassing the truth?
Yeah.
Really?
Exactly.
Done it.
Exactly. Like, did it really come out of nowhere? Did it really come out of nowhere? Or like, can we dig a little deeper into all those moments where you thought to yourself, this isn't right.
Yeah.
But you kept pushing on.
Yeah.
And that was because I wanted it to work so badly. And sometimes we want it to work so badly that we're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole.
Not a vibe.
Not the vibe, no.
Not sexy.
But yeah, the polarity work is huge. And I think for me, the biggest thing, and you know, one of the modules that we have in Honeypot is all about feminine communication. Like the way that we communicate with our partners is so dramatically influential into like the entire dynamic, the entire experience of your relationship day to day. And when it comes to, especially like when you've got businesses and kids and so many things going on in a very rich, full life, you do need to be, the way that you communicate with your partner is everything. And as we spoke about before, like the energy in which you show up in your marriage is everything. And for a lot of people, their marriage and partnership at home is getting like the leftovers, not the best of them.
Yeah. I love that analogy as well. I've heard you say that before. Your relationship should really be prioritized and not just be the leftovers. I think that's great. I want to move into talking a little bit about mental health for men. We're in this time where like, I think that men are getting really, they're really put on the spotlight for like creating all of the terror and all the problems in the world. And at the same time, like our men are deeply struggling. Like, you know, I don't know the exact stats, but it's pretty insane the amount of men that are really struggling, that are taking their lives over how deeply they are struggling or taking other people's lives.
Right, it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
It's so devastating.
Truly.
Yeah.
As women in the world moving as leaders in love, as honeypots, as priestesses, how can we add to or contribute to the healing of men without necessarily becoming martyrs or coaching? I mean, it's a little, I'll leave it at that.
Really what they need is for us to trust them and believe in them and champion them and let them. Big thing that I say a lot in Honeypot is let them. Yeah. Like let him show you that he can do it without you jumping in. Yeah. Like let him lead himself through his life. Like let him figure it out and like show him that you believe in him, that you trust him. Yeah. And like when he has that from you, like that is the most we can empower him. Yeah. Way more than like, let me tell you how to do this and let me make sure you don't get it wrong. Yeah. It's like when they feel like inspired to be our leader and our king. Yeah. They want to step into that. So yeah, I think masculinity is totally in a crisis right now. And it doesn't help that culturally we're blaming them for all of the horrors of the world. And I think we need to see that by doing that, we're not helping anyone. Yeah. We're not helping us. We're not lifting women up when we do that. We're not. Because what we really want is union. What we really want is divine union. We want the healthy, empowered masculine in his power. And we want the feminine in her power too. And instead of this pushing them down so we can rise higher, we have to realize that if we want to be in harmony, we have to like truly want them to rise in a way that like supports and serves them,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, so it's where was I going with that? I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
I've got another question.
Yeah.
Okay. If not,
Yeah.
yeah, what would your words of advice be if like someone's in relationship, in partnership, and their man is like really struggling and it's hard to really get to that place of like, I trust you to figure this out, you know, like what are your thoughts on like, yeah, like men really moving through their shit, like they're going through their shadow work, they're going through addiction or mental health issues or death or grief or whatever. Like how do you hold the frame in that?
Oh my goodness, it's part of life. Going through a
Yeah.
dark night of the soul, we're all going to do it. We're all going to go through it, right?
Mhm.
And you've probably heard this before, I'm sure, but the feminine is the leader in the spiritual world
Yeah.
and in the 5D. So, like, most likely we have been further ahead on that healing journey, dark night of the soul, shadow work, like doing all that, like, and then the men are following because they have been conditioned for many, many years to not feel their feelings, to not go deep. It's not
Yeah.
safe to be vulnerable. It's not safe to be all in our feelings and emotions. And so I have to do anything it takes to be this armor and this
Yeah.
soldier and this warrior so that I can be strong for the world. And so
Yeah.
they're learning now that they need to integrate those shadow aspects of themselves and those parts that they've abandoned.
Yeah.
And so we are going to be you know, when you're in a devoted partnership, you are with someone that's potentially going through that, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it's a season. Like, it doesn't last forever. But
Mhm.
I think what they need in those seasons is just knowing, just love, like just knowing that we accept them exactly as they are, because so many men have been taught that they have to be, it's just like women have, right? You have to be this in order to be loved.
Yeah.
You have to be this version of yourself or you won't be enough. You have to be this version of yourself or you won't receive love. Like everyone relates to that on a certain degree.
Yeah.
Men are the same. Like, if we can like fully accept them for who they are, like that is so healing. That's more healing for them than us nagging them to go to therapy.
Absolutely.
You know?
Like, what if you were the safe space for him to take off his armor? And are you being that? Or are you sitting there waiting for him to take off his armor and then ready with all of your demands and your little pokers? Yeah, one of the biggest realizations for me in relationship and seeing my husband move through his trials and tribulations is looking at my own journey and knowing that I'm a growth-minded person. And at the end of all of my darkest days, there has been a dawn that has brought a whole new level of awakening and consciousness and power, and trusting that the man that I chose also is growth minded. And I think that that's a piece, is like allowing yourself to be claimed by someone that is growth minded and worthy of you, but seeing like, this is who I chose and I trust that he is going to make it to the other side and really see that. And my job isn't to get him there, but my job is to walk with him on that and to be the safe space for him to rest. And
yeah, like your love is healing. Like the space and energy that you show up in is healing.
Yeah.
And it's inspiring. Yeah. And like that you don't need to do more than that.
Yes, exactly.
No?
Just like literally presence. Like, have him sit in your lap, like hold him. Like, have you can you hold him too?
Yeah.
You know, the same things that you want. He's
and
wanting
literally
and
like listen. You know, like I'm always like bowled over when Sean and I talk about like when we met. He always says like, I just knew you were my person because like, I don't know, you just like really listened to me and like you just like let me speak and like you really took in what I was saying. And I it's such a love language, because I think so many men are used to being cut off all the time, interrupted, corrected, told what to do, and like just listening and letting him say what he wants to say and finish his sentence and be in his feelings and listen to what he needs instead of jumping in and trying to direct or fix or mother.
Yeah.
Is so huge.
So huge.
And you know, it's a practice, you know, like I've totally had, you know, times where my husband will be going through something and I'm like, well, have you thought about this or what? And he's like, I don't need that right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. One of my favorite phrases is, I trust you to figure it out. And if he wants my input, he will ask for it. very, very clearly.
Yeah.
He knows what I have to offer. He'll ask for it if he needs it.
Yeah.
But I trust him
think
to
that's
figure it out.
beautiful. And that trust is a love language to the masculine.
It so is.
Yeah.
It so is. Any final things that you want to talk about, highlight, jam on?
Let's see. I think like what ties all of this together and what is a really important foundational piece for us, and I'm sure all your listeners have a strong relationship with a higher power, but is when we have a relationship with God or your higher power, universe, God of your own understanding, whatever that means to you, you can surrender that control and trust a lot easier than if you are someone that does not have that relationship. So in whatever way you can connect each day to your divinity, whether that is a prayer, a moment of gratitude, moment in nature where you are just like in faith and trust, it's going to help you relax and surrender that control, surrender that urge to mother and micromanage, surrender the need to know what's going to happen next, where is this going, which is just another way of wanting to control the future and the timeline, and just practice like having trust in God's plan and surrendering to God's plan in whatever way or part of your life that might look like. That has been so fundamental for me. Like none of my work would exist without that foundational piece. I think that's really important. Like you can't do this without believing in something higher than you. Otherwise, you're relying fully on your own strength to do it all alone, which is why you're going to be just constantly wanting to control everything. So I think that's a really important piece.
Yeah, one of my favorite mantras is, I've done everything I can do, and now it's up to God.
Yeah, Jesus, take the wheel.
Let go and let God. Yeah. So good. So good. Okay, where can people... Well, actually, I have one more question. Okay. I have one more question. Just to tie it up, final little bow. We talked about how you started the day at the beginning of the podcast. I want to hear about what are you coming home to?
Well, as soon as we finish this podcast, my entire family are waiting outside to pick me up because I'm breastfeeding my baby still and she doesn't really take the bottle. So
all right,
gotta have the boob. Gonna be whipping the boob out as soon as I get into the car.
Bless.
Doing a feed and then probably grab some food and go home and chill.
Sweet. Love it. Beautiful. Okay. And yeah, where can people find you, learn more about you? Obviously, you'll be guest teaching in the Pleasure Priestess, but you have deep, deep initiations for people. So would love to hear about that.
Come hang out on Instagram at I am Mel Wells. And come and join the fun. We launch our signature program Honeypot twice a year. But I think the next launch is going to be Valentine's. But in the meantime, there's going to be loads of fun, spicy ways you can get involved in our world.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got some retreats coming back too soon, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to be running my first retreat in a couple years in Nosara, Costa Rica, which is such a soul home for me. I've ran over 40 retreats at this point in my career, but I had to take a pause because my green card was on hold, so I couldn't leave America. So, and I have to do my retreats in Costa Rica, really.
International only. And will this be like a honeypot retreat, or will it be, because in the past they've been mostly more like queendom, business leadership sort of style?
Yeah, this is going to be more sensual, more honeypot focused. And actually, I was actually going to fire you a message, but since we're live on the air, what a great time to ask you if you'd like to come and guest teach on it.
Oh my God. Yes, I would love to. Yeah.
It's done. There we go.
Sweet. Put me on the spot. Why don't you?
I know. I was like, this could go one of two ways.
Oh my God. I love you. All right. Well, thank you so much, babe. It was so good. Adore you. And thank you, listeners, for opening yourself up to this sacred and sexy conversation. And we'll catch you next time on Talk Tantra to Me. If you are loving this podcast and are ready to take it a layer deeper into a more embodied practice, then I highly recommend you check out the Higher Love Club Vault. This vault has over 50 hours of transformational teachings on Tantra, sacred sexuality, shadow work, conscious relationships, money as a lover, inner child, divine feminine, divine masculine, so many incredible teachings and guest experts, and it's all self-paced and includes actual guided practices. The best part, again, is it is completely self-paced. So you can tune in whenever you desire. We have an app that you can log into and access at any time. And here's the real kicker. Guess what? I'm giving you a month for free. Yes, that's correct. Use the code EXPAND, EXPAND, and you will get 1 month for free. And after that, it's still only $33 a month for unlimited access to all of these incredible teachings. So there's like zero risk to try this out. Please check out the link in the show notes to join. It's the Higher Love Club Vault. Can't wait to hear how you integrate and embody these juicy teachings.